playing Agnes, the nerd.
I'll be playing Sam, the jock.
I'll be playing Roxanne, the pregnant whore.
I'll be playing Mary Alice, the goody two-shoes.
I'll be playing River, the artsy hippie homo.
And I'll be playing Crystal, the druggie in a coma.
Previously on yesterday's episode of The Young and the Stereotypical Chaos. At Shermer High School, Mary Alice learns that her boyfriend, Max, is the father of Roxanne's unborn baby. Meanwhile, Crystal has been absent from school for some time and is presumed by her classmates to be in a coma from a drug overdose. And I've been helping Sam study for her speech class before school, but it turns out she's pretty good at calculus, which is my worst subject. But we try not to let people onto that last part. We're a bit ego defensive.
So, when you take the antiderivative, it's just like taking the derivative, but in reverse. So you'll raise the power by 1 and divide by that number. But since these are indefinite integrals, you have to add the variable c on the end for an undetermined constant.
So, like this?
Exactly.
Okay, so when you take the antiderivative, it's like taking the derivative, but backwards. You have to raise the power by 1 and then divide by that number. But these are indefinite integrals, so you're going to have to add a plus c on the end because it's an undetermined constant.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. What a whore.
Just because a girl's pregnant doesn't mean she's a whore, Sam.
Pregnant with another girl's boyfriend's baby?
Well, you don't know all the circumstances. Let's just get back to calculus. Man, this problem is just impossible. Calculus is so hard, I'm never going to understand it. I'll never be able to get an A to keep my perfect 4.0 GPA.
Oh, don't worry. You'll get it eventually.
I don't think so. I hope so, but I don't know. Do you think she knows our real tutoring arrangement?
I hope not. It would totally ruin my rep with the basketball team.
Not to mention my reputation with the varsity chess club and the FSA, Future Scientists of America.
Zombie apocalypse.
It wouldn't matter anyway. No one will believe her because she's so weird and out there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Do you think the rumors are true? Do you think she's a lesbo?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, me either.
Oh, Mary Alice, there you are. Can I talk to you for a moment?
I really don't want to hear anything that you have to say.
Look, we're not all that different. Just give me a chance to explain.
We're not all that different. First of all, I haven't even slept with my boyfriend yet, let alone someone else's, so I really don't know how you think we're even remotely alike.
Okay, look.
I didn't even go around seducing, attempting taking men either.
It wasn't like that.
You didn't even what, think that I would find out? Well, I did. Max told me everything, and he was obviously the victim of your little mind games.
Well, I wish he had told me everything. He didn't even mention you.
Didn't mention me? Ugh, you are so wrong. I'm sure he mentioned me when he was trying to get away from your whorish feminine wiles.
Well, he didn't. It was at that huge Anderson party last summer. Now, I know I was pretty drunk, but I wouldn't have done anything if he had mentioned you.
Huge Anderson party last summer? He said he didn't even go to that party. He said that he stayed home sick.
Well, he went. He wasn't as drunk as I was, but he was still pretty buzzed.
He drank? He said he wasn't even gonna drink, that he loved me too much to hurt me like that.
Shun the unbeliever. Shun!
But he said he wasn't going to hurt me like that.
Well, I'm sorry it got so out of hand. I mean, if I had known about you two, I really would... Oh,
I'm going to talk to Max right now and figure
weren't such an uptight ice queen.
So, what are they saying about me? Am I on a month-long tour in Paris, or am I on tour with some of my new songs?
No. They all think you're in a drug-induced coma.
So I tried medical marijuana one time. That doesn't make me a drug addict.
I know that. You know that. They don't really know a whole lot about you. You were always so withdrawn at school, and the chemo made you look awful.
Well, I didn't want them to get attached if I didn't get better.
But you are getting better. I wish you'd been more upfront with them about this. It's hard for me to listen to all of their bullshit.
I can't help it if I have cancer, but I can help who knows, and I choose not to. Isn't it the same thing about you? You haven't come out of school. Isn't that the same thing?
That's not fair.
Maybe not, but it's still my decision. Isn't that how you feel about liking girls like Carrie?
Guess so. Whatever.
Hey Roxanne, can I talk to you for a minute?
How'd your chat with Max go? Did it hurt as bad as my face still does?
Oh, I'm really sorry.
Snape, Snape, Severus Snape, 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 Severus Snape, Ron, Ron, Ron Weasley, Ron, Ron, Ron Weasley, Snape, Snape, Severus Snape, Ron, Ron, Ron Weasley. Voldemort, 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 Voldemort. Bum 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 bum.
Roxanne, like I was saying, I'm so sorry about all of that. And I totally misjudged you, and I just wish that I hadn't, but I gave Max my all, and he said that we were going to wait as long as I wanted to, and it just really makes me upset. And
Did you know that Persephone consumed 7 pomegranate pips?
no, I'm not. No, I'm not okay. I'm sorry I misjudged you. I regret everything that I said to you, and we were just both the victims there.
Oh, I'm sorry I misjudged you too. And I never thought of you as the type of person who would realize your mistake and apologize. Oh crap, I missed the bus to the hospital. I'm not gonna make my appointment.
Oh, well, hop in my car. I'll take you. Oh, let's go this way.
So what happened to Carrie?
Gone.
Gone where?
We had a disagreement.
Disagreement?
She got jealous. Said I was spending too much time checking up on you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't be. She was psycho. And you're my best friend, and she was just stupid.
Is that River?
I think so. Let's listen.
Shh.
So are you gonna find someone else?
Maybe, but I want to be sure you're on your feet before I look for a new girlfriend. And I want to make sure the next one isn't psycho.
Yeah, those girls are crazy. Plus, I didn't like her anyway.
Are you saying that today? I think so. Does that mean she's lesbian? Well, let's go find out.
Is it true? Are you a lesbian?
You were listening to our conversation?
Yeah. So, are you?
Yes, it's true.
Really? Why didn't you just tell us before?
I thought you would judge me like Crystal.
Yeah, I guess people are quick to put labels on people, but you really shouldn't have been so worried about it.
But Crystal, wow, you're looking really good. We had no idea what happened to you. You were gone for so long. We all thought you were in a coma from a drug overdose.
I had a brain tumor. The chemo was pretty rough for a while, but after the surgery I've been feeling much better.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you're on the mend.
Yeah. Are you guys getting along now?
Oh, yeah. Well, I let all of my prejudices get in the way of finding out the true story with Roxanne and Max. But now that we know everything, we actually have quite a bit in common. And we're really good friends, so I thought I'd bring my new friend to a checkup today.
And how is everything?
Everything is normal, better than normal even. It's twins!
Awesome.
Stereotypes aren't always true. To start off, stereotyping is the creating of schemas that overgeneralize attributes of a specific group. In our soap opera, we had very common, popular high school culture type of stereotypes. We had the slut, the goody two-shoes, the jock, the druggie, the alternative one, and the nerd. And it's important to note that as we went along, each of these characters had their own perceptions that helped them to select, organize, and interpret the world around them. From these perceptions, they created schemas that led to some very polarized black and white type of stereotyping. With stereotyping, they created labels, or names assigned to categories based on one's perception of the category to be put on individual characters by the larger group.
By the end of the show, each character's frame, which is a structure that shapes how people interpret their perceptions, was changed because they learned more about each individual and discovered that stereotypes aren't always true. Frames can change over time as new information is introduced based on experience, interaction with others, and innate personalities, just like what happened with all the characters in The Young and the Stereotypical. The more information each of us gathered about the others caused a shift in her frame and transformed or even eliminated the previous stereotype, such as with Crystal's reputation as a druggie.
At the beginning, each character created stereotypes, or broad generalizations about the other characters, which caused them to have prejudice against them. Prejudice is experiencing aversive or negative feelings towards a group as a whole, or toward an individual because she or he belongs to that group. The relationships in the soap opera represented different functions of prejudice. The relationship between Agnes and Sam was ego-defensive, which is the role prejudice plays in protecting an individual's sense of self-worth.
Agnes was always used to seeing the smart girl and didn't want others to view her as dumb or stupid in any way, especially in a school subject like calculus.
Sam, on the other hand, was used to being the athletic one, who depended solely on her physical abilities to get through school and to fit in with her friends. Both Agnes and Sam wanted to protect what they considered to be their self-worth, whether it was their brains or their brawn.
The relationship between Mary Alice and Roxanne presented the ego-defensive function of prejudice. Mary Alice was unwilling to listen to any of the arguments that Roxanne presented to her, which was her only wanting to believe what she thought was right, which was also her ex-boyfriend's side of the story, Max. Mary Alice's attitude made her feel better in the beginning, but also prevented her from finding out the true facts of the story. Mary Alice did not want to be viewed as the poor girlfriend, and she attempted to push all of her insecurities onto Roxanne and blame Roxanne for everything. Roxanne's comment at the end about Mary Alice being an ice queen was Roxanne's effort to make herself feel better in order to brush off Mary Alice's attack.
The relationship between River, Crystal, and the larger group represented the value-expressive function of prejudice, which is the role played by prejudice, drawing on allowing to view their own values, norms, and cultural practices as appropriate and correct. They believed untrue rumors, such as Crystal being a drug addict in a coma, when really she was just in the hospital for cancer treatment. Their second fault was being ignorant and not taking the time out to learn about Crystal and River and just assumed that they were correct. They assumed Crystal and River's lifestyles were wrong because based on stereotypes.
It's apparent from this episode of The Young and the Stereotypical that stereotypes can be false and cause problems, drama, and unethical behavior. Ethics play a large part in our perceptions of others. To avoid the pitfalls of the characters in the soap operas,
You should ask yourself these questions.
Have you failed to notice any relevant information due to selective attention?
Have you used faulty organizational patterns?
Have you considered all the possible interpretations for the information you've received, using the full range of your cognitive complexity?
Has your physical condition influenced your perceptions?
Has your cultural background influenced your perceptions?
Or has your social role or position influenced your perceptions? After you ask yourself these questions, make sure you're separating facts from influences and engaging in perception checking, which is where you talk with others to see if their perceptions match yours. If you follow these things, you will be able to avoid the problems of the characters. Thank you for watching today's episode of
The Young and the Stereotypical.